he starts his group, the Brotherhood of the White Temple. The group was based on Dorial's teachings, which he claimed to have derived from ancient Atlantean tablets discovered in the Great Pyramid of Giza in 1925. Dorial was an American occultist and self proclaimed spiritual teacher who reimagined Thoth, the ancient Egyptian deity, as a king of Atlantis. He claimed to have translated the Emerald Tablets of Thoth, the Atlantean, a set of ancient texts that he said contained mystical knowledge and spiritual wisdom. The Brotherhood of the White Temple taught a cosmology focused on the inner earth and underground races, which are actually us. We are the barbarians, the hairy people, right? I don't know if you saw the video I tried to put up this morning. They killed the freaking audio on the video, man. I'm telling you, this is a big deal. This is a really big deal. You don't understand. So, oh God. So Atlanteans, he said, in a cave under Mount Shasta in California in 1931. Dorial's teachings also incorporated aliens in the 1950s. Now, again, they're his interpretations of these aliens are not aliens. It's the children of light above the dome, the luminaries, right? What we call angels, what the Book of Enoch called the Watchers. These are the aliens, the stars, the luminaries, the bright things that vibrate and penetrate, right? They impregnate the daughters of men with their vibration, right? So, and Stacy, the bass player thing, right? The whole bass player thing. Why are bassists the biggest dummies in the whole band? No offense, bass guys. Everybody needs you, but you know, they're always in the low vibration, right? So Dorial claimed that the Brotherhood was guided by the Great White Brotherhood, a group of enlightened beings responsible for humanity's spiritual evolution. Throughout the book, these guys are brought up over and over again. These are the guides. And again, I'm going to tell you why this is so relevant to me spiritually. Is that damn dream that I had somewhere in my life? I don't know where it was at, but through my childhood somewhere, like I remember this jumping around, getting stuck in the clouds and flying. This is a real dream that I had. I'm not lying to you. Like I swear on my life right now. And it's like as clear as day. It's one of those dreams you can't get rid of. It always sticks with you, and I could think of it, and I'm imagining that I'm right there in that dream right now. Like I see it as clear as I did then, whenever that was. And so I jump and I get stuck in the sky, and I'm flying across the sky, and I can feel the wet feeling of the clouds on my face, and I can see the sun shining off of the lakes down on the ground. And now I'm like airplane high in the air. I'm not just floating a little bit, I'm way up there looking down at all these big green bulbous looking trees and whatever. And I'm like, just everything is green, and I can see the orange of the sunlight reflecting off of the lakes and ponds or whatever, right? But I can see the sun directly out of them, right? In that dream as a little kid or whenever this is, right? So suddenly I'm talking to this thing and I'm like, yo, I think I have to go down there. And I do. And I end up going down to this thing, and there's a house there, and it's like my birth or something, is what I would say if I had to analyze the dream. I go down in this little hut or whatever it is, and then from that point forward, everything goes dark, and all I can hear is, "Yeah, he's finally here." Or like this. It's not that I can hear it; it's just that I could feel it, right? I could feel that this is what everybody like. It's warm and welcoming, and like everybody, right? So it's a real thing that happened. It's somewhere in my, and I got to the point now in my life where I think that is a memory of what I was before I got here, right? So that's the way that I'm looking at that now, because consciousness never dies. The neurons never die. The soul and the spirit comes from the stars, and that's where it returns to. Okay. So this is the way that they're teaching this stuff. So this is why it resonates so fucking hard with me, is because of that dream. All right. So when I start ripping through this stuff and I start saying like, this is where the stars all, so they basically, the lights in their combination with each other create a resonant chemistry between each individual star. And I'm going to try and make up for the book thing last night. It's why I feel so amped up today, so now, the stars themselves, right? When you're talking about cloudbusters, there's a crystal in the bottom of each one of these tubes, except for the central one, right? That's the downward draw. This is the point that's up in the air. on a pyramid, right? That crystal on the outside has a resonant feature to it. So what that does is it propagates negative ions upward and outward. So as there's a static potential draw downward, I drew it on the whiteboard last week or whenever, right? There's a V-shaped torus on its way down in. There's also the harmony, the return up and out. So what you basically have is an ion vortex jet engine of negative ions. Okay. Scalar wave jet engine is what this basically is. Okay. Very simple, very subtle, but that's the way that the whole thing really goes. And that's why they work the way that they work, right? Between the chemical reaction with the steel and the copper. Oh, ye men of chem. It's all about chemistry, the whole thing, alchemy, right? So Kemet is named that because, like chemistry is named after Kemet, right? So the pyramids work the same way. That's what I was working on in that video today. So I'm going to try and screen share and see if I can find the same shit that I put into that video today. I put probably 45 minutes into that video this morning, and I got like a little bit into it, and I was seeing myself. I have the actual video, and there's nothing wrong with the sound. So that's that's an internet thing. That's an internet thing. Whatever happened to that video is because of whatever is going on with the internet. So um, now the pyramids, they function the same exact way. And I wouldn't have understood these unless I understood those, So that's the main takeaway here. If you have one of these, you know that they're real. You watch it daily. You see all that shit happening in the sky. You go, oh my God, they really freaking work. And it's like, where am I? Is this the fucking Twilight Zone at this point, right? Like that's what you start to feel like. Um, and even now, as many of these things as I made, as many clouds I watch dissipate, it still freaks me out. Like I still watch it going, it's so awesome, right? And I see them spray over my house and I go and I reposition. It was like my own little war. It's fun. It is really fun. And you're going to get addicted. If you buy one or you make one or whatever, you have one, you'll start seeing the way that all works. There has to be 20 like really, really passionate people about this. One of the guys I really like a lot is the guy over in Holland right now. I love his stories because there's nobody over in Europe that has them. There's another guy in Ireland last year. He's like, oh, like you hear him in his videos with that Irish accent, like Irish people always sound happy. Oh, like fuck it, like so it's just awesome. All of that is awesome. But what's more awesome is this is the truth of where our cosmos and all this stuff, where the stars came from, right? This is legit, man. I'm telling you. So, um, to the original work by Doriel, in the following pages, I will reveal of the mysteries which has not yet have only been touched upon lightly, either by myself or other teachers or students of truth. Man's search for understanding of the laws which regulate his life has been unending, yet always just beyond the veil which shields the higher planes from material man's vision. The truth has existed, ready to be assimilated by those who enlarge their vision by turning inward, not outward in their search. You hate the Republicans, you hate the Democrats, you hate the blacks or the Jews or the Chinese or whoever. You hate. It's all their problem. Look what they're doing to us now. It's you, right? It's how you respond to all of those different kinds of things. You change that, none of that shit will bother you, right? And that's like pretty much where I sit. I don't care what other people are doing. Like I'm constantly working on me. So um inward, not outward. This is a baseline across all religions, all cultures, right? There's only 6 people on here. Freaking popular. So in the silence of material senses lies the keys to the unveiling of wisdom. He who talks does not know. He who knows does not talk. The highest knowledge is unutterable, for it exists as an entity in lanes which transcend all material words or symbols. So he who does not talk, and I'll tell you why that is, because like that's kind of where I'm at, but at the same time, I don't think anybody that learns this kind of thing for themselves could just be quiet about it, right? Like this is to me, it's the evidence, right? And I can tell because I know how all of the things work together, how the quartz in the pyramids do the things that they do, how the resonant chambers are built. Those things were initially built to phi, that natural resonant spiral of life golden ratio thing, right? It's the middle of the day. I know. I got done with I was working on a kitchen today. Um, so all symbols are but keys to doors leading to truths, and many times the door is not open because the keys seems so great that the things which are beyond it are not visible. If we can understand that all keys, all material symbols and manifestations are but extensions of a great law and truth, we will begin to develop the vision which will enable us to penetrate beyond the veil. All things in all universes move according to law, and the law which regulates the movement of the planets is no more immutable than the law which regulates the material expressions of man. One of the greatest of all cosmic laws is that which is responsible for the formation of man as material being. The great aim of the mystery schools of all ages has been to reveal the workings of the law which connect man, the material, and man, the spiritual. So this is the big part where you have to, in order to be able to see this, this is the big part where you have to be able to see both, right? There's an inversion to everything that is physical. There's an opposite, like another part of all of this stuff. It's the hand and all the space around it. So in that thing, what I would always explain spiritually, to be able to see that there are four spaces. Who would think of that, right? Who would think that there's four spaces? So I can count that if I wanted to, right? Four spaces between my five fingers gives me the Ennead or the original nine gods. And then you put them together, right? You've got 9 and 9, that'd be 18, and 1 plus 8 equals 9. And this is where we pray, or the Mesopotamians would say, I count to 12, one bone in the finger, right? So there's four here and four here. It gives me 12, 12, night, day. You put them together, right? And this is, so it's just when you start to look at the symbolism and the way they put the numbers together with all of these things, the numbers, the shapes for those numbers, what those numbers actually represent in harmony and in music and in resonance and electrical radiation or electrical, um, just electrical or not electrical, but energetic values, pulse things, things that can be measured in hertz, so many wavelengths, no matter what that is. So that's your music and that's your light, the spectrums of light and all this stuff. So I'm going to try to share the screen again. Under the pyramids, what the paint cans are. So are those things found under the pyramids like what the paint cans are? Yeah, I think what they're finding down there, I don't know if that's I think that's I don't know if that's a psyop or not or what, like these guys like Dr. Robert Edward Grant, like these guys are all like scattering right now to, I sent this to a buddy of mine last night. I don't know if so I sent this to him on Facebook. I'll see if I can find it on here. There's a video of, I got to find his name here quick, and I'll play it for you. Dr. Robert Edward Grant, I caught this thing on YouTube and I recorded it and then I put it onto on Facebook, and the video got like 2 views, I think, or two likes, right? So this is the guy, Dr. Robert Edward, of the pyramids and all the ancient structures in, with the Orion constellation superimposed over the top, reversed as if the sky dropped down onto it, right? Big spiral coils. Yeah. I mean, I don't doubt it. I don't doubt it, but at the same time, like they're trying to draw so much attention to that. I don't it's hard to say what they're doing it for. Like when they're talking about aliens and all that shit, ancient alien shows and all that stuff, they might be trying to off put the spiritual beings, the watchers, the angels, the things in heaven off as aliens, right? So they're kind of half telling the truth in a way. I don't aliens aren't a thing. I don't care what there's no physical green lizard thing coming down to do right. I don't think that'll ever happen. I don't think that's a real thing, and I don't think it ever was. When they said lizard people, they meant the snake people, the reptile people of ancient Egypt. The snake people were the Hyksos, the Heka Kasut, those who ruled by dark magic is what that stood for. Not ruler.
1757, which was from an Italian explorer, and he showed 5 pyramids on the Giza Plateau. There was another explorer by the name of came in 1743.
Right there.
It showed 5 pyramids as well. And then in 1755, was the Danish explorer cartographer. Here was a picture with an aerial view. 4 pyramids, and had also a ground level view of 4 pyramids, and it's now become quite famous. And so we're investigating and see if we can find this 4th pyramid on the Giza Plateau. It's supposed to be on the south side of the Great Pyramid. So it'd be southwest.
Southwest.
Look.
Right here, look, I say in the video, right? So listen to me. I'm going to show you the image again. I'm going to show you what Egypt looks like in comparison to if you have not seen that image, I want you to take a screenshot of this and look for yourself. But you're gonna have a hard time if you are just trying to see you can't just align what the Orion constellation looks like with the pyramids of Egypt, right? They are definitely in a formation that is exactly as if they were shot from each pyramid into the dome, right? Straight above them. That would give you a mirror image. So as you see that picture of Adam or whatever reaching down, the God is reaching down to touch man on earth. And you see a little green hand at the bottom of that painting. It's not Adam. Who the hell is the green hand then? Right. So, sorry, Mom, I'll call you back. Here we go. What that guy's talking about in the video that I just showed you, right, are those 2 pyramids that don't show up in the southwest, right there. Every star has a temple. Do you see this? Every star has a temple. Come on. That's a shitty kitchen I did. I don't give a damn about that thing. Okay, so watch. All the bright white spots. This is going to be hard because I have so much light on the phone. I can't get it to focus either. There. Get the focus changed. All right, now look at all the white spots. You see right there. Do you see these 3 right here? They all fall directly in line with those 3 temples right here, right? Exactly to scale. The Orion constellation, I knew that those stars were there a year before this guy made that announcement. I kept saying to myself, I know there are stars down in that desert in the southwest. This guy comes out and puts his video on YouTube, and I make these comments. I'm like, yo, how come you guys never answer me? Like, what do you think about the temples making the stars? Like I'd say all these crazy things to these guys. And they're like, this fucking crackhead probably is what they're thinking, But I think that their job is to defend this as the truth, right? Because it knocks the whole NASA thing into the dirt, So those big spiral coils, ion energy, if they're showing you, it's probably not, or at best, an incomplete truth. Oh, as far as the spirals, yeah. I don't know what's underneath there, but I would assume that he's always talking in this book about going into the underworld and stuff and finding a way into so he has to descend before he can ascend, right? But he says these things. I wish I did a good job of outlining this to this morning on that freaking video. So here, you know what I'll do is I'll share the screen with you quick. I have to create a new tab first, though. Hold on. All right, now, there we go. Share the screen. I'm going to show you the what the hell did I even have in that video this morning? All right, so piezoelectrical energy is a big thing. You got to understand what piezoelectrical energy is. That's crystal put under stress will propagate an outward resonant field of energy, right? And same thing in the reverse. Like if you stretch it out and you pull on it, it will draw energy into it, right? So that's what happens when it expands under heat as the sun shines on it, right? So you got to think if there's this is probably one of the first things you should see. All right, temple, Great Pyramid shafts. All right, so everybody knows what these look like. So right here, let's just. Oh, I like that picture down there. It was better. I like pictures. So watch the Grand Gallery. So you have to understand a lot of things here. All right, like what the way that the world works, the way that the physics behind this would work, the descending passages. He's always talking about the subterranean chambers and going down into the halls. I think when you look at we'll do this one here. This will be um Hebrew map. I don't know if this I'll take you into this picture after. But so I think you're still on the pyramid image, right? There we go. Still on the pyramid image. And so what you can't see me blowing it up here, I don't think though. So you've got an ascending passage. This is this one shaft goes directly to the Orion constellation. The other one goes directly to the North Star. These are on different angles. That's your moon and sun. Or no, these are to the moon and sun, and these are to the constellations. These other two shafts. So this is your moon and your sun. Why? They need light to get down into the quartzite in the granite to create a piezoelectrical vibration. Now, at the base, you've got what they call Schumann resonance. That, like, Marconi finds that there's a vibration coming off of the Earth, and it's 7.83 hertz, and I can attach information to that, and bam, we have AM radio, right? So that energy is constantly being pumped up into the base of that pyramid as a resonant chamber. And then when you go and you look at the Grand Gallery, there are these things that all right, so let me get through here anyway. That vibration is long wave vibration on the earth. As it is being pushed upward and pumped upward into this chamber, there's more energy being encapsulated and forced into these resonant chambers, which makes them come out even harder, right? So you've got vibration from the earth, chants from singing and whatever. This is what they say about what the pyramid, like, people would be singing and they could hear different sounds they go into once they go into the pyramids. They could hear things sounding different. The Earth's heartbeat. You ever find something interesting? What do you mean? So much astronomy curriculum. I need to see if I have anything useful for this. Well, it's the copper shoots. Anything useful for this? They basically put the stars there as a record of all of the previous ages of men. Is what the whole thing is really about. So everybody that became a god on earth, somebody that was worth worshiping. All right, so we're always talking about the Illuminati, right? There's a song by. So I'm going to look up. Is Anthony Kiedis a member of the Illuminati or the Freemasons? Anthony Kiedis likes to troll the conspiracy theorists. All right, so he's definitely one of them, right? He was raised in movies and all this stuff. Somebody was telling me his whole family was always into Freemasonry and all this stuff, but he was an actor and whatnot. There's a song that he does, and it's called. And there's a couple of them, but, like, space was made in a Hollywood basement. That's one of them. Um, Carry Me Home. This is another one. So in this song, I'm gonna pause it so I can read the lyrics to you. Uh, Celluloid soldiers come in from the rain, murder my smile, but please leave me my pain. All these good people, they don't even try, stealing the truth while they pay for your lie. I'm about to lose the things I never saw before you wanted me to know the ups and downs. Away we go to get another hit, the blood that she's about to spit. Da da da. Da. This might be, I think this is the wrong song. Yeah, this is Carry Me Home. The other one is Kick down the door. So kick down the doors that you don't understand. Please don't lose sight of this generous plan. Blinded by prisms, we wind up in court. I'm folding chairs while you sold yourself short. Um, this isn't the song. Damn it. Someone that carry me home. That's not the song that I'm thinking of. Give me 1 second here if I can find this song. All right, we're gonna kill that. Crown of Thorns. Just give me 1 second, because once I read the lyrics of this other song, you're gonna say, "Oh my gosh!" Like he's speaking like an Illuminati guy, you know? I can't believe it's not popping up. It's one of I play it the most. Oh, Don't Forget Me. Of course, it's not loading right now. Do you believe this shit? Don't Forget Me lyrics. I'll just get rid of this. Don't Forget Me lyrics. Chili Peppers. Um, I'm an ocean in your bedroom, make you feel warm, make you want to resume. Make the snow fall from underneath your feet. He says some weird shit in this. Uh, I'm the rainbow in your jail cell. Uh-oh. All the memories of everything you've ever smelled. Not alone, I'll be there. Tell me when you want to go. No, I think I had the right. I think I had the right. I could show you the free field. Overcome and more will always be revealed. Not alone, I'll be there. Tell me when you want to go. Um, here's a line for you. Make the hair stand up on your arm. Teach you how to dance inside the funny farm. Not alone, I'll be there. Tell me when you want to go. So I had the right one the first time. That was Don't Carry Me Home. It's called Carry Me Home. Carry Me Home lyrics. Um, why can't I find this? Release My Soul. Oh, Transcendence. That's another one, right? Chili Peppers, Transcendence lyrics. Watch this. So the name of the song, Transcendence, number one. I can't believe how slow my phone internet is. This never happens. Or transcending. You are my God, you are my dog. You kept me close. Love never lost. I called you hippie. You said fuck off. Said your brother's a real punk rocker. Something's gonna happen, something very soon. Transcending flesh could be a breeze. Leaving the flesh could be a breeze. Now listen to where this goes. He says about the moon. Sending me, Lord, over the moon to become part of the stars. Where do the Hollywood actors go? On a granite slab on Hollywood on Hollywood Boulevard, right? Granite with quartzite in the slab, right? Like to get shot up over the moon to become a star because you're worshipped on Earth. Californication, it was that song, yeah. Well, maybe with data centers to speed up the internet. Yeah, right. So what is this, man? Come on, dude. All right, so that's just one part of it. Friends near death, you gave respect, sympathetic intellect. Choices are for one and all. All we are is leaves that fall. That's all. So the dirt your body is borrowed from. right? Like he's so it's all about spiritual. They all like all these different Illuminatists, like they know you're gonna probably be back here, like the whole cycle of life thing, you know? Um, round and round inside your head, smartest fucker I ever met, vicious fish bit at your toes, da 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 da, transcending. That's actually a good song at the beginning, but then it starts to get a little bit darker, you know? But anyway, like, so the Illuminati, those who are illuminated, the illuminated ones, right? The people who are keeping the secrets of this guy, Thoth, you know, for themselves to transcend. So history of Thoth the Atlantean. He talks about the Lords of Light. All right, so in that other song, in the lift up your lamp, walk through that door, right? That's one of the lyrics in one of those songs that I was just telling you about, right? Raise thy high over the entrance, a doorway, a gateway leading down to a menti. This is what you're leading down to a menti. So this is like the way to the underworld is the way to the heavens. All right. So now if you see things this way instead, this is where we live rather than this big globe thing. God, heaven of heavens. There are stars inside of the dome right here. Do you see? There's stars right here, firmament, but the waters above. If you look at the date on here, 1913, reprinted in 1995. This was New York Association Press, 1913. This is before. This is before Rockefeller created the whole educational system, right? To illustrate the account of creation and the flood. So, how do you think the flood happened? They were creating stars and they busted a hole. And, you know, where the earth used to be exposed down here is now filled up. Well, what happens when you have this whole thing where there's displacement? Where does all the air go? It escapes or whatever, right? So, 40 days and 40 nights, all that. So, now when you see it from that perspective, you start to say, all right, this makes some kind of sense here now, right? Other chambers I built, the key is the I think the Ankh, he who would in courage would dare the dark realms, let him be purified first by long fasting. So in order to transcend long fasting, Jesus like didn't eat for 40 days or something. Remember that? The flood. Yeah. Look up the lyrics to fornication. Well, wait, a hole in the firmament. Yeah, 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 yeah. A hole in the firmament. Yeah. What would cause a flood of that proportion, right? What would move all of the sand over the entire country of Egypt? Like you look at that entire region. What's the only thing that could put that much sand over the desert? The ocean carried the sand across the fucking land, man. Like it's incredible how it all works. The whole flat earth thing, right? The whole Gleason's map. Gleason's map is a here. Look, trying to tell you guys. Now, I'm always telling you about the flow of electricity when you're putting the cloud busters together. The south is the draw for electrical potential, right? What's underneath the Great Pyramids? Aquifers. There's water, resonant. They're not there anymore, I don't think, whereas as they were. But on this map, the only cold places on Earth, right, are where the most electrical energy is at. So at the most purified points, because of electrical potential, basically ionizing the shit out of everything around it, you end up with ice. So look into the relationship between cold and electricity. It's a lot different than like you see thunder. There's a reaction in moisture vapor in the air, right? There's a reaction from it. When it's too cold, it's a totally different environment. So the cold and electricity have a really close relationship. So the coldest place on earth, the North Pole or the South Pole, which is actually the opposite. They told us that's the North Pole. Where's the draw for static potential? This is the fucking South Pole, man. They named it North. Like, no joke. No joke. All this static potential gets drawn down into the center of Earth. Like the magnets, we stand on the surface of Earth is a south draw. All the energy travels south to north, right? So down inside is a north draw. Down inside is all that electrical potential is being drawn down into the earth. That's the way electricity flows on its own, right? So now, now watch. So all of these places fit. This right here, Africa, fits inside of here completely and perfectly. You see this little jog right here? Fits right there perfectly. Why? What happened? Something broke the base of the Ankh. The Ankh was the tree of life growing up this way, right? Like up this way towards you from underneath the surface of the earth. All of this is the big giant loop over the top of the Ankh. This is the flat part at the center, intersecting point of the Ankh, right? So now they said the ancient temples, the ancient Mayans, and the I can never think of the other ones. I don't know why. Every time I do a video, the word escapes me. Not Peruvians, but the Mayans and the Incas, right? They had all these temples down in South America. This was up here at one time. They were all being built at the same point, same point in time. Thoth the Atlantean was said to write this book like 29,000 years ago. 29,000. The Younger Dryas period was like 11,800 years ago, right? So that's when the Great Flood hit. So what they're not telling us is that in each age of man, there's something, there's this new structure of the way they're going to control shit. Imagine being able to see that. What? Trying to meddle with them all over. You can squeeze them and they crumble. I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what I was saying. So do you get what my point is here? Right? Like, so this is the Ankh. This is the key to life. I'll just now that I have that laid down as a format for you to think by, right? Again, you got to be able to see the 5 and the 4 spaces between. If you can see both the physical and the spiritual, and you could think from both, right? You have to think from every possible dynamic that you can. Out of a circle, you are the speck. You're the speck when you're born. At the end of your life, you're the outer part of the circle. 360 different things you learn over the course of your life to look back on that one central thing. You are an inversion of yourself if you're constantly trying to purify yourself, like Thoth says in all these books, So it starts to get real fascinating on a spiritual level when you start to figure all that stuff out. But when you see the Star in the Jar video, or the sonoluminescence, the sound transmitted into light, luminescence, or bioluminescence. You ever see people walking around in the ocean and the water will glow around their legs, Imagining being able to see what? I don't know what you're talking about. So anyway, I'm trying to make up for not doing the book club thing last night. I'll put as much energy into this as I can today. Still a temple of ancient. All right, so it should be understood that the Great Pyramid of Egypt has been and still is a temple of initiation into the mysteries. Jesus, Solomon, Apollonius, and others. All of the different ages. Abraham, Solomon, like that. This is a really long time ago. So they're each an age of man where they would deceive the population. We did see I don't know what I was talking about at that point. But, so all these different initiatic people, right? Like, why are they always hiding all this stuff for just themselves? Um, it keeps the rest of us making the world happen, right? Like, you think about it, none of these guys are coming to arrest any of us, right? The more enlightened we become, the more dangerous that is to them, right? Because now we're enlightening everybody else around us. The police will finally get to a point and they'll say, um, it's not worth it, right? Like eventually it's gonna be like, I'm gonna get killed if I keep giving all these poor people tickets. Eventually they're gonna have a mutiny, you know? We just don't remember. I'd have to say, I don't know what you mean. Oh, the tree of life. Imagine being able to see that. Yeah, so I mean, and I think that there's legitimately, I mean, where that all would come from in that way, I don't know. But when you're talking about the Orion constellation matching up with all of those places in Egypt exactly like that, how? How? Right? They're not like dead balls on, right? Like they're not exactly, but you got to take other things into consideration. You have a level of distortion. You're on the inside of a curved surface, right? That would be a factor. The distance away. And again, the moon thing, right? If we're talking flat Earth, the light of the Earth is bioluminescent, right? So the light travels from the Earth up to the firmament, then back down to you. So that's the distance that you have. So if you were to add on, like, why is the sun or the moon both always so freaking huge when they just come up over the horizon, right? Or hemisphere, right? Half the sphere. Why do they call it that? The words that they use alone are enough to tell you. Planetes, it meant a wandering star. It doesn't mean a ball in the earth. The cosmos is a divine arrangement of these lights in the sky. It's just like, holy shit. Holy shit. But I know that it's true. That's the whole crazy thing. That's the whole crazy thing about all of it. So the history of both the Atlantic, they don't read that, and his name is pronounced Toth, but most people would be like, "What did he say?" Lords of powers, the halls of Amenti. Deep in the earth's heart lie the halls of Amenti, far beneath the islands of sunken Atlantis, halls of the dead and halls of the living, bathed in the fire of the infinite all. Bathed in the fire of the infinite all. What do they tell us? That, there's a fiery inferno at the core of the earth, right? But it goes in line with the way that they explain these things esoterically. Far in a past time, lost in the space time. That's a I don't that's a bad translation. Space or time. He's talking about the water out beyond. When he says space time is what he means. I don't know what his translations of that are. Hemisphere alone. Right. Yeah, right. Half sphere. Hemisphere. Universe. One story to distribute all uh blueprints to all people, that divine light or that cosmic arrangement as it is, as you are in, right. It's just so simple to discern the truth from our own senses if we truly pay attention to what our senses tell us. Yeah. Once you start biting on to all of the etymology in this stuff, you say, oh my God, like these words, right? The words alone tell you all of it. Yeah. And when I started doing that, it was like one song, one story, one song, one story. I think I saw it somewhere. I might have saw that one somewhere. But if you think about it now, as those stars come up, they are what determine what's going on in your head. Like the Rife machine. I can put myself in a good mood. I can piss myself off. I can do a whole bunch of things with a Rife machine. Why does it work? It's photons. It's light energy transferring through the water in my body. The etymology is key. I feel brain dead now. Me too. The last week. Oh my God, this last week. I can't even tell you. I don't know what the fuck is going on with my head, but God, I am really tired. I can't think about anything. Um, it's like something's just like tearing away at my brain lately, like lately, this last week specifically, though. I just laugh when I see snow globes. It's like mass market trolling. Oh, all right. So then he's talking about the halls of Amenti and his here of Thoth. And yeah, he's talking about the halls of Amenti here. Seated within the flower of radiance. So a couple listen, this is where we get these different kinds of things that you hear out of the Bible. Like they all come from the Library of Alexandria. All of the religious teachings of Jesus, if he was or wasn't an actual physical man, I don't give a shit about that. The story of Jesus, allegorical or whatever, it doesn't matter. What matters is the story that comes through to us, whether that's through the Old Testament for the masters or the New Testament for the slaves. The slaves always, yes, Jesus is coming back to save us, right? The Old Testament is saying, no, man, I'm going to gouge your eye out if you do it to me, right? Like there's two totally different worlds there completely, right? So brain fog and insomnia. Yeah, I'm telling you, man, I woke up 4 o'clock this morning. They have zapped me a few times too, dead tired afterward. I got so tired on my way home today. It was another one, man. It's just like something's really going on around me. I don't want to get weird or look weird or sound weird about it, but there's something different. Something's different now. Lately. So anyway, he's talking about the flower of radiance. In the halls of Amenti, deep in the halls of life, grew a flower, flaming, expanding, driving backward the night. Placed in the center, a ray of great potence, life giving, light giving, filling with power all who came near it. Placed they around it thrones, 32 places for each of the children of light, placed so that they were bathed in the radiance, filled with the life from the eternal light. The eternal light, the Hebrew thing that I just showed you. In that model, there's a big light way up at the top. That is I think the one thing that creates this all of the light around, so there has to be a resonant thing. I think that the sun is created by that just as much as the moon or the refraction or reflection of the earth resonance, right? The light has to come from somewhere. Where that is, it's not just the sun. The sun isn't a ball, like, right? So I'm trying to figure the sun out. I don't think anybody knows really. So placed they around it thrones, 32 places for each of the children of light, placed so that they were bathed in the radiance, filled with the life from the eternal light. There, time after time, placed their first created bodies. Their first created bodies. There, time after time, placed they their first created bodies so that they might be filled with the spirit of life. 100 years out of each 1,000 must the life-giving light flame forth on their bodies, quickening, awakening the spirit of life. There is, or there in the circle from aeon to aeon sit the great masters, living a life not known to men. There in the halls of life they lie sleeping, free flows their soul through the bodies of men. Time after time, while their bodies lie sleeping, incarnate they in the bodies of men, teaching and guiding onward and upward out of the darkness into the light. There in the hall of life, filled with their wisdom known not to the races of man. Living forever beneath the cold fire of life, sit the children of light. And I think these are what they would call like cherubim, right? They're like they're children that they can't leave the heavens or something. Um, there was something else in the book of Enoch, but like what they call cherubim or cherubs, virtually a mirror, static in the air. Need to shield your house. Yeah, I'm telling you, dude, it's not a joke, man. I showed you. I don't know if Danny, you got to look up my Facebook posts. I'm showing a thing with the radar with the storm systems coming at my house, and there's this like cone of energy or something coming from Binghamton, New York. It's like pointed directly at my house, and it's fucked up. When you're like, I'm watching the radar, going, ha ha ha, I'm beating your clouds. This thing is like pointed right at my house, and you can see it clearly. Just look northeastern Pennsylvania up to Binghamton, from Binghamton dead south, and watch a radar system and go backwards and forwards. You'll see these storm systems. There's a cone of energy coming from Binghamton straight up my house. Sounds nuts. My son said that to me before. He's like, that's where I think you start getting. little weird. I'm like, "No, dude, like, look it. You don't see that?" So, it's either the radar or they're like so there's a form of ionization. They can do something to make the temperatures change. Was another thing I noticed where I dropped him off. It was 58 degrees. I got home and it was 64 degrees. That's a pretty big jump in temperature for being 10 miles away, it's 6 miles away, you know? That thing is super creepy. What thing? Oh, that cone, you saw it, yeah. Sunlight and daylight are different. When the sun comes over, it excites the photons in the neon gas and gives us daylight. Whatever the sun is, it has some magnetic effect on the photons. The faster they vibrate, the brighter the light. Well, here's another thing too, though, is the sun itself, right? Like it's such a blazing, burning thing, whatever the hell it is. Why are there clouds at all in the sky? There's nothing natural about them. If it's just water vapor, it would dry right out of the sky, right? Like, this is like all of these different stories make no sense. Why is the night sky not bright everywhere? Everywhere, all throughout space. If there's that much of a vacuum or whatever, right? So I don't know, man. Coal fire life, children light times there are when they awake and come from the depths to be lights among men, infinite they among finite. He who by progress has grown from the darkness lifted himself from the night into light. Free is he made of the halls of Amenti, free of the flower of light and of life. Guided by he then by wisdom and knowledge passes from man, the master of life. There he may dwell as one with the masters, free from the bonds of the darkness of night. Okay, so seated within the flower of radiance sit seven lords from the space time above us, luminaries. He's talking about the planets. Okay, those are the gods, the right? The seven lords, that's Mars and Jupiter and Venus and all that stuff. But you look at the P 1000 camera things, right? There's just little vibrations going on inside of a plasma bubble. It's just trapped energy, which makes sense. You could trap a star in water. There's no star burning eternally in a vacuum in space where there's no oxygen. What's the fuel? What is the fuel? How does it keep happening? Like what made them burn for this long? It's just like a magical fucking burning rock. You know, like it's just oh man. And when you say it and you think about it, it's like, oh yeah, there's like no thing anywhere behaves like that. You know, like it's just it's crazy to me how we've been so far down all this and like so many people argue about it. Like the flat earth thing is where I really got into all of this, and I'm like, I'm happy that I did, but at the same time, I'm like, I'm in a different world now, you know? Mighty and strange they, veiled with their power, silent, all-knowing, drawing the life force, different, yet one with the children of men. All right, so the soul, they're one with the children of men. I, different, and yet one with the children of light. Custodians and watchers of the force of man's bondage, custodians and watchers of the force of man's bondage, which is the magnetic, the material, the body itself is a physical thing, you know? He's a flat earther. Nikon P 1000 myself, and once you see them, you know. Yeah. Dude, I was trying I tried so hard. I was real hard into what will blow my mind. Terry Eicher on Facebook, Flat Out Truth Productions, Sunlight and Daylight. So I was at hardcore and I'm buying all these like expensive lenses and shit, and I'm trying to get a great picture of one of the planets, and I can't. I can't. They're just moving and they're blurry and fuzzy. No matter what I did, I could not get a decent picture of any of these goddamn planets. Every time I tried, they just buzz away, you know? So I just gave up, you know. I gave up, I think, after a while trying to do that. The moon I got really good with. Um and yet one with the children of light, custodians and watchers. So the watchers, you know, the book of Enoch, the watchers, the angels. Um, he starts talking about the cycles. Ah, right. I'll say something like this, like I, death, come, and yet I remain not. So death hits me, but it doesn't stay with me, right? The body dies, right? I, death, come, and yet I remain not. for life eternal exists in the all of that shit swirling around above our heads, right? Spirits, souls, your ancestors, whatever, the great all inside of the dome. Um, Only an obstacle. I in the pathway, quick to be conquered by the infinite light. Awaken, O flame that burns ever inward. Flame forth and conquer the veil of night. Flame forth and conquer the veil of night. The veil of night, I think, is the dome. Um, so the key of wisdom. All right. So as a god, he's enlightenment is the man's ability to think. Right. I, Thoth the Atlantean, give of my wisdom, give of my knowledge, give of my power. Freely I give to the children of men. To the children of men. That's just the physical people on earth. You are enlightened because you have light energy in your body from them. So give that they too might have wisdom to shine through the world from the veil of night. Wisdom is power, and power is wisdom, one with each other, perfecting the whole. Be thou not proud, O man, in thy wisdom. Discourse with the ignorant as well as the wise. If one comes to thee full of knowledge, listen and heed. For wisdom is all. Keep thou not silent when evil is spoken, for truth, like the sunlight, shines above all. He who oversteppeth the law shall be punished, for only through law comes the freedom of men. Cause thou not fear, for fear is bondage, a fetter that binds the darkness to men. So fear, do you understand what's going on there, right? Like what they're always keeping us in the low vibrations. You're always afraid of shit, like so cause thou not fear, for fear is a bondage, a fetter that binds the darkness to men. Follow thine heart during thy lifetime, do thou more than is commanded of thee. When thou hast gained riches, follow thine heart, for all these are of no avail if thine heart be wary. Um, just kind of went past all the other shit there, but like the physics and all that stuff and the details are in all those bigger books. But it's like every once in a while, it's like you find a needle in a haystack. Like you read through paragraphs, you're like, oh wow, that's awesome, and then you want to go back and find it or show somebody. That's why I got this out in case I hit any good spots with this book. I'll burn this one. So flat earther improves everything he talks about. I don't know what you're talking about. Yeah, it's yeah, Danny. It's not whatever it is. It's not good, man. It's just real. Got a video with a diagram you talk about where each planet is level above us towards the Saturn at the top, and they each present color relative to our chakras. Saturn is the closest to heaven. Yeah. Yeah. So that, like in the color spectrums, again, now you're talking about vibration on each individual wavelength. Like the red chakra is like what's the next one in line, right? So they did this shit somehow either on purpose. I mean, I don't know. But the wandering stars are the oh, what did he just call them? What did he just call them? Not the aeons or the archons or something, right? But the seven, what he was talking about, the seven, that's that's the planets. That's the planets. All right. So the spaceborn, right? Again, this guy's talking about aliens, or right. That's the misinterpretation. So he's talking. All right. So when he says spaceborn, he's saying born in the heavens, born in the water, right above. Notice the similarities between chakras and this stuff. Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. That's the big thing, right? That's why they worship the black cube. I can't get over the hole in the firmament. Still stewing on that. So they were making a star and ripped a hole. I think they did that in Atlantis. I think they caused that in Atlantis. But that's what caused. I mean, like, how else do you just suddenly get 300 meters in elevation taken up by ocean water? Like, where the fuck did all that water come from? Right, and then bam, all of Egypt is flooded with sand. Right, like it's unreal. This is unreal stuff. When you start to pick it apart from these angles, it all starts to make sense. I've been making sense out of all of them for probably a few years now, but not intending to prove the Earth flat or any of that. Like it's more to find out, but the more I look there, that like this is where I keep ending up. So the space born, he's talking about born in the heavens above. Okay. So listen ye, O man, to the voice of wisdom, listen to the voice of Toth, the Atlantean. Freely I give to thee of my wisdom, gathered from the time and space and the water of this cycle, master of mysteries, son of the morning, living forever, a child of the light, shining with the brightness, star of the morning. So the teacher of men is of all, long time ago, I in my childhood laid neath the stars on long buried Atlantis, dreaming of mysteries far above men. Then in my heart grew there a great longing to conquer the pathway that led to the stars. Year after year, I sought after wisdom, seeking new knowledge, following the way, until at last my soul, in great travail, broke from its bondage and bounded away. Free was I from the bondage of earth's men. Statue of Liberty, broken chain at the feet, seven spires on the crown, bearer of light, right? That's what the Statue of Liberty is. Free from the bondage of earth's men. So I am now made of light, like Jesus, so light because he was so pure, because he fasted, he didn't eat anything heavy or whatever. He carried himself in all these laws that he's talking about here, like they would learn in the school of Alexandria. He was so light that he could walk on water. Not light, physically, but light in sin, right? And in the heaviness of the heart, like the weighing of the heart stuff. This is why I believe so much in the birthing of children in water. Can't get over the whole firmament. Yeah. So bondage of earthmen, free from the body, I flashed through the night, unlocked. And now think about this dream of mine that I explained to you earlier, right? Free from the body, I flashed through the night, unlocked at last for me was the star space. It says water. Free was I from the bondage of night. Now to the end of space, wisdom far beyond knowledge, finite, far into space. My soul traveled freely into infinity's circle of light. Sonoluminescence, the circle of light, trapped in the circle of light, right? The star in the jar. So I've been following Martin Layden on Flat Earth British YouTube for many years now, and he finds so much old stuff, and he has a theory the firmament is somehow mechanized to turn and it's breaking down. I don't know about it breaking down. I don't know about that, but there's definitely something there. It's like, what makes all those stars move? And I think it's that there is a natural tilt to the earth. And I think that oscillation is what creates, I think it's a focalization of light off of, like, did you ever see in the summertime when you're driving up over a hill, there's that little, almost like a mirage or something. It's like that little clear line of gas or something, right? The heat rising off of the road, kind of, but that little thin thing that you can't see what's on the other side of it. It's like, um, I think that itself is reflective. So in the heat, that itself is reflective somehow. Don't know how. I mean, but there's something to do with the surface of the earth, this oscillatory behavior, right? And if you think if I take like a nail, right? Like let me grab a nail and show you what I'm talking about here. It'll make more sense. All right, so this is the earth. This is the plane of the earth right here. And this, let's just say that this is the perpendicular behavior. So if this was all radiant energy on this surface, on this plane right here, right? And let's say we put a mirror on it and I start to point it at a dome above it, right? This is what's moving, I think. So that luminescent feature of the earth that creates the moon is a reflection, or where in the sun's absence, this reflection happens up above because of like the earth is absorbing solar energy and then giving off that radiant value, just like graphene works, right? It collects all this solar energy and it's constantly radiant and it can be picked up by infrared. Same thing for the moon. You're looking at a dead black sky and what is it reflecting? And why it doesn't show buildings or anything like that, I mean, I don't know about that either. I don't know. Because it might just be light energy that would reflect off, but I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I mean, there's a whole bunch of different things kicking around my mind over all this stuff. So, all right. So we were just talking about lift up your uh, lamp, walk through that door, lift up your flame from out of the darkness, fly from the night, and ye shall be free. Traveled I through the space time, knowing my soul at last was set free, knowing that now might I pursue wisdom until at last I passed to a plane hidden from knowledge, known not to wisdom, extension beyond all that we know. Now, O man, when I had this knowing, happy my soul grew, for now I was free. Listen, ye spaceborn, listen to my wisdom. Know ye not that ye too will be free? Listen again, O man, to my wisdom, that hearing ye too might live and be free. Not of the earth are you, earthy, but child of the infinite cosmic light. Know ye not, O man, of your heritage? Know ye not ye are truly the light, son of the great sun? When ye gain wisdom, truly aware of your kinship with light. Now to ye I give knowledge, freedom to walk in the path I have trod, showing ye truly how by my striving I trod the path that leads to the stars. Hark ye, O man, and know of thy bondage. Now how know how to free thyself from the misery, the grief, the guilt, the politics, the debt, the whatever, right? How to free yourself from all of those toils, you know? Um, Out of the darkness shall ye rise upward, one with the light and one with the stars. Follow ye every path from wisdom. Only by this can ye rise from below. From below. This is below. We're in below. So ever man's destiny leads him onward into the curves of infinity's all. Know ye, O man, that all space is ordered. Only by order are ye one with the all. Order and balance are the law of the cosmos. Follow, and ye shall be one with the all. He who would follow the pathway of wisdom, open must be to the flower of life, extending his consciousness out of the darkness, flowing through time and space in the all. So there's like three different things I thought about that flower of life. I don't know what the hell it is because first I'm thinking that it's the sun, then I'm thinking that it's one of the planets. I don't know. I don't know what the hell it is. The flower of life. I'm trying to think maybe they attribute that to the lotus flower was a real important thing to ancient Egypt. So there's the key of magic. What else? The seven lords, right? So the seven planets. Let's see what this says. So hark ye, O man, and listen to my voice. I'm gonna speak normal, right? What it would sound like rather than trying to figure out the Yoda stuff. Open your mind and drink of my wisdom. Dark is the pathway of life that you travel. Many the pitfalls that lie in the way. Seek you ever to gain greater wisdom. Attain, and it shall be light on your way. Open your soul, O man, to the cosmic, and let it flow in as one with your soul. Light is eternal, and darkness is fleeting. Seek you ever, O man, for the light. Know you that ever as light fills your being, darkness for you shall soon disappear. Open your souls to the brothers of brightness. Let them enter and fill you with light. Lift up your eyes to the light of the cosmos. Keep you ever your face to the goal. Only by gaining the light of all wisdom are you one with the infinite goal. Seek you ever the oneness eternal. Seek ever the light into one. Hear you, O man, listen to my voice, singing the song of light and of life. Throughout all space, light is prevalent, encompassing all with its banners of flames. Seek you forever in the veil of the darkness, somewhere you shall surely find light, hidden and buried, lost to man's knowledge. Deep in the finite, the infinite exists, lost but existing, flowing through all things, living in all, all is the infinite. Living in all is the infinite brain. It's the duality of both hemispheres of the brain. It's the magnetic and the electric, and the way they just, the man and the woman, and the right, all things considered. The way that the brain moves, the way that it processes things, constantly fighting for friction. There's something else going on up here, you know. Um, Infinite dwells. Listen to wisdom. All right, so anyway, you see where I'm going with all of this stuff, and the key of mystery. Wisdom is hidden in darkness. These are the things that, you know, they say Jesus would speak like, right? And again, it's the apophatic, I am the light, I am the way, right? All these words come out of those. So the key to the freedom of space. Great pathway. There's a tile or a plate. They said there was 13 plates is what it was, or tablets, right? So emerald tablets. So this is the 10th. They said the 13th was so far reaching that man couldn't, that they wouldn't allow it to be printed or something like that. Whatever of these translations. The key to above and below. Um, Live life. So the soul returning back, right? The things we seek are not of the body, but are only the perfected state of the soul. When you as a man, or when you as men can learn that nothing but progress of soul can count in the end, then truly you are free from all bondage, free to work in a harmony of law. Know, O man, that you should aim at perfection, for only thus can you attain to the goal. Though you should know that nothing is perfect, yet it should be your aim and your goal. Ceased again the voice of the nine, and into my conscious the words had sunk. So like always do the best. Material things are useless. Yeah, and it puts it all into such a perspective. It's like this is the great thing in all religions. Like the one thing they constantly say that makes the most difference. Like this life, all these physical. Like I say all the time. Like I don't give a shit about any of this physical stuff. Sit outside and tall grass under the stars, arguing on the internet. See which one makes you feel more alive. Science. Oh man. Um. You know what else I wanted to show you guys? So the keys of life and death. Here's another one. All right. So, but this kind of stuff. This is where the Bibles come from, right? They don't tell. They tell you one life to live, make it count, right? That's what our bondage creates. The fear, right, of God, right? It's up dark skies. But it's constantly in that low vibe, like that fear, the thing that is your bondage, right? To be afraid of nothing because you know, um, and be afraid of nothing because you want to learn all of it. You know, like in a way, keys to life and death. Let me see how much further this goes here. Quick, there's a part here. But what I really want to do before I get this video over with, I have, oh man, an hour and 20 minutes. I'll try and cut it all down to an hour and 30. But I want to go into Uh, the thing of Hermes. I can't believe I can't think of it right now. I've listened to it 100 billion times. I'll think of it. The lament of Hermes. He's talking about the death of Egypt, and like so. He's talking about Egypt. Like they fucked Egypt up. Greece just fucked Egypt up. And why? Because the people from the Levant came through, took over Egypt, got kicked out, went to Greece, went back as Greece. You know, it's and the Persians, the same group. So listen to ye, O man, hear ye the wisdom, hear the word that shall fill you with life. Hear you the word that shall banish the darkness. Hear you the word that shall banish the night. Mystery and wisdom have I brought to my children. Knowledge and power descended from old. Know you not that all shall be opened when you shall find the oneness of all? One shall you be with the masters of mystery, conquerors of death and masters of life. Who's he talking about? Conquerors of death and masters of life. They live eternal in the heavens above, right? In the watery, right? Yes, you shall learn of the flower of Amenti, the blossom of life that shines in the halls. In spirit shall you reach that halls of Amenti and bring back the wisdom that liveth in light. Know you the gateway to power is secret. Know you the gateway to life is through death, right? Know you the gateway to life is through death. Go into the pyramid, zap, right? It's you got to read a lot more of it to be like where like because to me this is all literal. It is all literal to me at this point. Like I don't give a shit about anybody's religion or any of the bullshit COVID stuff or what. I don't care about any of it anymore now. So I through death, but not as you know death, but a death that is life and is fire and is light. Desire thou to know the deep hidden secret? He's asking the question. You want to know the big secret? Look in thine heart where the knowledge is bound. Know that in thee the secret is hidden, the source of all life and the source of all death. It's already in you. So listen, O man, while I tell the secret, reveal unto thee the secret of old. Deep in earth's heart lies the flower, the source of the spirit that binds all in its form. Oh, am I fucking stupid? You know what that is? The flower. It's the six-sided cube. The flower. Now I get it. I never put that together before. That's the flower, right? So you take a cube and you turn it on its side, right? There's a cube, right? So I took one of these and I put them on my wood lathe and I put point to point. And I hooked it up like this and I spun it really fast. And you could see that the six-pointed star was in there and the way that it rotated. So that's the flower he's talking about. The triangle and the triangle overlapped. Life is a game, kind of death of the ego. All right, so damn it, where was I at now? Now I get it. All right, so deep in Earth's heart lies the flower, the black hole, the sun. That's what they're talking about. The source of the spirit that binds all in its form. Source of the spirit that binds all in its form. Or know you that the earth is living in body, as thou art alive in thine own formed form. The flower of life is as thine own place of spirit and streams through the earth, and thine flows through thy form, giving of life to the earth and its children, renewing the spirit from the form unto form. This is the spirit that is form of thy body, shaping and molding it into its form. Know ye, O man, that thy form is dual, balanced in polarity while formed in its form. Know that when fast on thee death approaches, it is only because the balance is shaken. It is only because one pole has been lost. Again, what are we going through now in the world right now? Right? Your house is a static environment. It's all a positive charge, right? The people that are building it are being directed to do it. They don't know that static energy is what's creating and causing all the cancer. The people like us that are just, yeah, I'm going to work, right? They're creating a static environment. They give you rubber floor. There's no electron reciprocity, right? There's no grounding, no earthing. You're constantly in a static environment. So I say take the magnets and make sure that you always have the south side up in the water that you drink. It'll pull all that positive static shit out of your body. Just with its electromagnetic draw. The water itself be charged in a way to do that. I think that's I mean I ain't a fucking scientist. Uh, so listen to that. Know you, O man, that thy form is dual. You are electricity and magnetism. Balanced in polarity, while formed in its form, know that when fast on thee death approaches, it is only because thy balance is shaken. It is only because one pole has been lost. So the magnetic pole is the one that's been lost. We walk around in our rubber shoes and our polyester shit, you know. Know that the secret of life in a menti is the secret of restoring the balance of poles. All that exists has form and is living because of the spirit of life in its poles. Yin and yang. See ye not that in earth's heart is the balance of all things that exists and have been being on its face. The source of thy spirit is drawn from earth's heart, for in thy form thou art one with the earth. When thou hast learned to hold thine own balance, then shall thou draw on the balance of earth. When thou learn to hold thine own balance, then shalt thou draw on the balance of earth. The grounding. Exist then shalt thou while earth is existing, changing in form only when earth too shall change, tasting not of death, but one with this planet, holding thy form till all pass away. Again, a misinterpretation. He said planet. He's the earth. Listen, ye, O man, while I give this secret, so that ye too shall taste not of change. 1 hour each day shall thou lie with thine head pointed to the place of the positive pole. 1 hour each day with thine head pointed to the place of the positive pole, to the north. 1 hour each day shalt thy head be pointed to the place of the negative pole, the south. Whilst thy head is placed to the northward, hold thou thy consciousness from the chest to the head. All right, so here's a real confusing because I was just talking about the North Pole and the South Pole. The Egyptians thought that the north was where the sun was because the sun is a positive static energy thing, right? It's electrical positivity in all things, gives life to all things. Therefore, they would say, all right, well, the Nile, and I think the Nile, which way did the Nile go now? I'm confusing myself. I think the Nile runs upward, not downward toward the sun. So they thought that the sun was north and the south was where the Nile ran to. So I don't know what to make of that now. Hold down the conscious from the chest to the head. So maybe like it's an upside down, backwards, inverted world. I literally think that north is south now. Why is the south pole of a magnet on the top? I don't get it. I'm all fucked up. And when thy head is placed southward, hold thou thy thought from chest to feet. Hold thou in balance once in each 7, and thy balance will retain the whole of its strength. Yes, if you be old, thy body will freshen, and thy strength will become as youth's. This is the secret known to the masters by which they hold off the fingers of death. Neglect not to follow the path I have shown, for when thou hast passed beyond years to 100, to neglect it will mean the coming death. The secret of life somewhere in there, and I don't get it. Hold down balance once in each 7. Once in each 7. And thy balance will retain the whole of its strength. So you got to stay grounded. And then what does he mean by the each of 7? If thou be old, the body will freshen. So I don't know whatever that means. Grab the book, it's something like I don't know how many times I read through all these different things, and it sounds freaking nuts for most of it. He talks about becoming thrice greatest or thrice greatest. But anyway, I'm going to read you the Lament of Hermes. Here's the secret of secrets. Should I read it? Sleep with our heads facing north. Sleeping east to west. Got to move my bed. 7 main chakras, yeah. Now you assemble my children, waiting to hear the secret of secrets, which shall give you power to unfold the God man. The power to unfold the God man. Give you the way to eternal life. Okay, to eternal life. To live among the stars. Okay, my battery's going to run out on us again. Plainly shall I speak of the unveiled mysteries. No dark sayings shall I give unto thee. Open thine ears now, my child. Hear and obey the words that I give. First, I shall speak of the fetters of darkness which bind ye in chains to the sphere of the earth. Darkness and light are both of one nature, different only in seeming, for each arose from the source of all. Darkness is disorder, light is order. Darkness is disorder, light is order. Darkness transmuted is light of the light. This, my children, your purpose in being, transmutation of darkness to light. Hear ye now of the mystery of nature, the relation of life to the earth where it dwells. Know ye are threefold in nature, physical, astral, and mental in one. So you are of the stars already. 3 are the qualities of each of the natures, 9 in all, as above, so below. 3 are the qualities of each of the natures. So each of them has their own, right? So there's a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, right? In each of those 3 qualities in the lower body, 3 qualities in the middle body, and 3 qualities in the higher mind, right? So 3 are the qualities of each of the natures, 9 in all, as above, so below. In the physical are these channels, the blood which moves in vertical motion. Oh, this is gonna fucking blow your mind. Wait till you hear this. In the physical are these channels, the blood which moves in the vertical motion. The blood moves in a vertical motion to the heart, which is a vortices or a vortex already. Did you ever see that video? The heart is the vortex. When your cells become discharged, they travel downward, right? It's that downward draw that pumps the blood through the rest of your body. So when the blood becomes dead, it draws the it draws the dead uncharged cells back up to the heart to be recharged again, to run through the crown chakra where all the electrical energy from the sun is. That's where the cells become back up. Yeah, do everything that throws off the path, but they don't themselves. That's the whole thing, William. Yeah. What's the book called? It's the Emerald Tablets of Thoth. Reacting to the heart to continue its beating. All right. So in the physical are these channels, the blood which moves in vertical motion, reacting on the heart to continue its beating. Magnetism, which moves through the nerve paths, carrier of energies to all cells and tissues. Carrier of energies to all cells and tissues is from magnetism. Akasa, not akasha, akasa, which flows through the channels, subtle yet physical, completing the channels. Each of the 3 attuned with each other, each affecting the life of the body. Form they the skeletal framework through which the subtle ether flows. In their mastery lies the secret of life in the body, relinquished only by will of the adept when his purpose in living is done. 3 are the natures of the astral. Mediator is between above and below, not of the physical, not of the spiritual, but able to move above and below. 3 are the natures of mind. Carrier it of the will of the Great One, arbitrator of cause and effect in the life. Thus is formed the threefold being, directed from above by the power of 4. From power full 4 times. Above and beyond man's threefold nature, I reach the realm of the spiritual self. 4 is it in qualities, shining in each of the planes of existence, but 13 in one, the mystical number. Based on the qualities of man are the brothers. Each shall direct the unfoldment of being. Each shall channel be of the Great One. On earth, man is in bondage, bound by space and time to the earth plane, encircling each planet a wave of vibration. Encircling each planet, a wave of vibration binds him to his plane of unfoldment. Yet within man is the key to releasement. Within man may freedom be found. When ye have released the self from the body, rise to the outermost bounds of your earth plane. Seek ye the word Dor e li la. Then for the time in your light will be lifted. Free may ye pass the barriers of space. For a time of half of the sun would be 6 hours. Free may you pass the barriers of the earth plane. See and know those who are beyond thee. Ye the highest worlds may ye pass. See your own possible heights of unfoldment. Know all earthly futures of soul. Bound are ye in your body, but the power of ye may be free. This is the secret whereby bondage shall be replaced by freedom for thee. Calm, let thy mind be. At rest be thy body, conscious only of freedom from flesh. Center thy being on the goal of thy longing. Think over and over that thou wouldst be free. Think of this word, la la ganuver or something. I don't know. That's like there's literally prayer words and stuff, but I'm gonna run out of time here if I don't read this other thing. So just grab the book. You'll see that all this stuff it's so much more spiritual and it's a lot more freeing than what you get out of Bible stuff, you know? Um, but the part that I wanted to get to you guys was the Lament of Hermes. Uh, Let's see if I can find a reading on it real quick. The Lament of Hermes, what we're going through right now. All right. So, Lament of Hermes, Corpus Hermeticum. All right. Do you know, Asclepius, that Egypt is an image of heaven? Or to speak more exactly, in Egypt, all the operations of the powers which rule and work in heaven are present in the earth below. In fact, it should be said that the whole cosmos dwells in this, our land, as in a sanctuary. Right? I'm actually listening to the Lament of Hermes. Sorry. Yeah, explains the vortex of the heart in his book, Human Heart, Cosmic Heart. Yeah, I made it. I explained the cells thing to him on one of his posts. So he had like 100 different hits on it. People were like, "Yeah, that's awesome," whatever. But if you look at the Randolph Stone books, Lisa Shields, it shows the energy traveling in the body, but the blood makes the heart pump. It's not the other way around. The draw on the blood, when it becomes discharged, that's what makes the blood and the energy of the body actually work. You know. So you hear what he's saying there? What is in heaven is here, right? Do you know that Egypt is an image of heaven, or to speak more exactly, in Egypt, all the operations of the powers which rule and work in heaven are present in the earth below. So, and yet, since it is fitting that wise men should have knowledge of all events before they come to pass, you must not be left in ignorance of what I now will tell you. There will come a time when it will have been vain that Egyptians have honored the Godhead with heartfelt piety and service, and all our holy worship will be fruitless and ineffectual. So he's talking about the God. Now, these you got to think about it from this perspective. All right, you're a Christian, you're a Muslim, you're a Jew, whatever, right now, right? And you are thinking about all of this stuff. Well, God will save the day, and I'll be as good as I can. God, I promise. Can you save us? And da 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 da. Right. So you're pious and you're chasing down your religion. You're giving everything you got to it, and it's for nothing. He's saying, right? It'll all be ineffectual, right? Then, so it's the same here. Once you figure out that all of this soul, all of this intention, all of this knowledge, all this power, this energy, this lack of fear, this thing that you can be, is all right here. All that given to another god, it's ineffectual, right? So the gods will return from earth to heaven. The gods will return from earth to heaven. The gods that went down to take over the bodies of men, and fertility in the earth, lungs pump the blood. That's why the breathing is so important. I work my business in a very cold Alice Springs. Rest calm, thank you. Thanks, Bruiser. So the gods will return from earth to heaven. Egypt will be forsaken, and the land which was once the home of religion will be left desolate, bereft of the presence of its deities. O Egypt, Egypt, of thy religion nothing will remain but an empty tale, which thine own children in time to come will not believe. Nothing will be left but graven words, and only the stones will tell of thy piety. So, Everything carved in the stones will be the only record of what your religion was about. There's nobody to pass it on. Why are they all Muslims over in Egypt now? It's a weird thing. And in that day, men will be wary of life, and they will cease to think the universe worthy of reverent wonder and worship. They will no longer love this world around us, this incomparable work of God, this glorious structure which He has built, this sum of good, made up of many diverse forms, this instrument whereby the will of God operates in that which He has made, ungrudgingly favoring man's welfare. This combination and accumulation of all the manifold things that call forth the veneration, praise, and love of the beholder. Darkness will be preferred to light. This is the world we live in now, okay? Darkness will be preferred to light, and death will be thought more profitable than life. No one will raise his eyes to heaven. I'm looking down at my phone right now. The pious will be deemed insane. Jesus freaks are all nuts, right? The impious will be considered wise. That would be where I would fall in line there, I guess. The madman will be thought a brave man, and the wicked will be esteemed as good. So Bill Gates is here to save the world, right? Trump's doing a great job. What about Joe Biden, right? The wicked will be esteemed as good. As for the soul and the belief that it is immortal by nature, or may hope to attain to immortality, as I have taught you, all this they will mock, and even persuade themselves that it is false. No words of reverence or piety, no utterance worthy of heaven will be heard or believed. And so the gods will depart from mankind, a grievous thing, and only evil angels will remain, who will mingle with men and drive the poor wretches into all manner of reckless crime, into wars and robberies and frauds and all things hostile to the nature of the soul. Right? Are we there or what? That's wild shit. Right? This is at the collapse of Egypt. And who did it? The Akkadian Empire, right? The people that kept morphing so you just look from there forward. Then will the earth tremble and the sea bear no ships. Heaven will not support the stars in their orbits. All voices of the gods will be forced into silence. The voices of the gods will be forced into silence. Like the stars won't shine. The fruits of the earth will rot. The soil will turn barren. Right? They're spraying all this shit on our food, right? On our earth. So the fruits of the earth will rot. The soil will turn barren. And the very air will sicken with sullen stagnation. Go outside and breathe in your chemtrails. All things, come on, you bastard. All things will be disordered and awry. All good will disappear. But when all this has befallen Asclepius, then God, the creator of all things, will look on that which has come to pass and will stop the disorder by the counterforce of his will, which is the good. He will call back to the right path those who have gone astray. He will cleanse the world of evil, washing it away with floods, burning it out with the fiercest fire, and expelling it with war and pestilence. And thus he will bring back his world to its former aspect, so that the cosmos will once more be deemed worthy of worship and wondering reverence, and God, the maker and maintainer of the mighty fabric, will be adored by the men of that day with continuous songs of praise and blessing. Such is the new birth of the cosmos. It is a making again of all things good, a holy and awe-inspiring restoration of all nature. And it is wrought inside the process of time by the eternal will of the Creator. And the Creator, again, that spiral of life thing. So my energy is going to stop here. Infertility of life. We have so much yet to go through. Yeah, we're already there, man. We're already there. So, all right, man, I'm going to end it, and I'll try and get this video put up for you guys tonight if you want to go back and listen to any of the shit that I read. But hope you thought it was somewhat interesting. I wish that video went through because I took so much time to not do that rambling thing that I always do. I start jumping around and, 5-hour energy jumps into me. But all right, I'll see you. That's an hour and 45 minutes. See, I'm always 15 minutes longer than I always say I'm going to be. Thanks, guys. Thanks. Just bought it. What this the Emerald Tablets, Stacy? You just bought this, the Emerald Tablets? Which book are you talking about? So, again, like all this when you're talking about the stars, what they really are, the water and all that, we'll be buying that book. Oh yeah, the Emerald Tablets. It's the answer to like where the origins of the Bibles all came from, and it's 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 different, right? It touches you differently than when you hear Catholicism, and like some of the words you hear in our old, big, gigantic, obfuscated freaking Bibles, just like it's way too much. Like life is nature and its harmony has to be way simpler than what's going on here, right? So it's just it feels a lot different when you read it from that perspective, and you go, oh my god, like, this is the oldest, most pure version of the way that things are supposed to be spiritually, right? There is a harmony, there's a cosmic balance. Another one, the Book of Dead, the Egyptian, the ancient Egyptian Book of the Dead. They have all these different prayers and stuff in there, and it's the same thing, but it sounds because, oh, it's the Book of the Dead. Like, oh, there should be a upside down pentagram on it, upside down, there's baby eating goats' heads and all that stuff. Like, people start going nuts with all this shit when they're Christians, right? They don't want to look at any of it. That's where all of these religions were built, is off of that stuff, you know? But it's wild that we hate, the pharaohs are so evil because of why? The Israelites said so. Well, who the fuck were the Israelites? The guys that ran Egypt for about 1,500 years and got thrown out for being assholes, right? And then they moved to Greece and fucked Egypt up again. So it's like all the stories we learn. Who controls all the stories we learn? The Israelites that took over, blah 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 blah, all throughout history. And here we are going, oh, like, oh my God, the Egyptians had it right. Tibetan Book of the Dead. I'd like to read that. I never got it. I always wanted to get that book. You say that, William. Struggle forever trying to balance Christianity with nature, spiritual stuff, and had such a hard time. This explains it all. Yeah, I mean, this is the origin for all those different religions. But at the earliest form, religion was all Egyptian. It all came from the Atlantis stuff, like for sure. But when they're talking about worshiping gods, the gods were men on earth, became gods in the heavens. They were already gods on earth. We are all like basically are saying you are the God man. Um, who the hell writes that book? God man. I have a book in my house. I can't remember what the hell it's called. I don't know. I'm sorry. I'll try and remember. Lights the moon when we die and it wipes our memories and sends us back here. All right, guys, I'm gonna go. Sorry about not doing the live video last night, but I got everything ordered up finally. Thank God, I got all the information in one spot. I just had a big stack of envelopes. And listen, if you're following me and you ordered some of that stuff, you send me a message somewhere, right? Just send me a message. I don't because there's some people in there that didn't say like they sent me a check and I put the check in and I'm like, shit, what did they get? Because I keep telling everybody, leave me a note. If you're buying one of them friggin' paint can things off me, right? Leave me a note and tell me like that's all you want. And don't send me $40 and say, hey, I spent $300 because I'll go back and check the fucking checks, man. But like that's what it's like. It's like I'm going through all these different things and nobody's leaving. Like, what do I want? And it's driving me crazy trying to go through all. I mean, it's some of the people that I know, it's not a big deal because I know who they are. But the other people is just like specify what's supposed to be in there. You want me to send you extra? I mean, I'll send you extra shit like the cookies and the templates, especially if you're gonna make more for around you. Um, but yeah, I'm dead. This is gonna die here. Can't wait to get mine. They're all ready. They're all ready. I gotta find the time. I gotta finish this kitchen I'm doing today. I hope I can get over there Saturday. I think I'll try. I'll be able to get over there on Saturday. I'm pretty sure. So to ship it out. Did you order something, Dark Skies? Please send me a message wherever. Say, hey, this is my name. This is what was on. Blah blah blah. You ordered 8 paint cans and instructions. New to the group. Paint cans and instructions. All that's in the paid stuff. No more. You can find a couple of videos on the magnets stuff, but I can't keep going through all the instructions person by person by person. I did it last year. It's eating me alive. Not to mention there's other people that are like that I don't want seeing this stuff. Again, reasons for the shit that probably the stuff that I'm going through now. Um, but I can't answer person by person by person. I had to give it up. I tried last year. It burnt me out. It burnt me the hell out. And then between that and then the people like, "Hey, where's my order? Where's my order? Where's my order?" I had one lady, she like, I can't believe how many times she said, did you send it yet? It's like that kid in the back seat, like, are we there yet? Are we there yet? Are we there yet? Like, that's how it feels. It's just like, God damn, man, chill the fuck out. I'm one guy. I'm getting them all done. They all go at the same time. When they get there, they get there. Don't send me 100 messages, man. It fucking eats me up. I can't. I'm sitting here answering all these messages all night. It's like, what the hell am I going to say? Like, this is how it goes. 20, 30, 40 of them at a time. I'll mail them all the same day, but I only got so much time in a day. So I'm not being a dick. I'm just like, give me some time, man. you know, Need a tux. 3 weeks, maybe something like last year I was doing them. They were coming out probably, I mean, the longest most people waited was like a month or a month and a half. And then there were 5 that seeped through the cracks that I didn't see. They're still sitting on my floor. But they started getting real shitty with me. And it's like, fuck them. I just got burnt out and I just let me do what I'm doing. I promise you, I'll get it to you. I ain't gonna lie to you, take your money and not send you this shit. But need a tux. All right, man. I'll see you guys later. I'm gone. Thank you for enjoying the night here with me. And good night.